You might be missing out on some of the most exciting galleries in the game right now, but don't worry because I got you. These Black-owned galleries have done something really, really special, redefining what it means to collect and pushing culture forward in ways that you need to see. And listen, it's not easy to keep a gallery running, okay? Especially if you are a Black-owned gallery. The amount of work, the amount of strategy, and straight up resilience it takes, unreal. But these galleries, they're thriving, and I'm so proud of what they've been building. So let's get to it. What's going on, Glorifiers? For those of you who are new, I'm Mariah Elise, an art advisor and a curator dedicated to making the art world more accessible to everyone through insights, conversations, and discovery. Anyway, guys, welcome to Dear Glory. Let's get to it. All right, y'all. First up, we're going to talk about Richard Beavers Gallery. This is a name that you should know. When I really started studying galleries, this is one of the first spaces that kept coming up, especially among Black collectors, curators, and artists. And for good reason, okay? I would be in conversation with folks and people would casually say, oh, Richard Beavers Gallery? Oh, the Black-owned gallery Richard Beavers in Soho in Brooklyn in New York? So the first year I went to Chicago, I was so hyped. I was so excited to check out their booth. I had already heard how important they were, and I wanted to see what that energy was like in person. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint, okay? I walked up. It was Black artists on the walls, Black collectors, Black dealers. Very, very, very inspiring. And I was with a friend of mine, and he looked at me and he said, "Do you see this?" And I said, "Yeah, I see it." And as we talked about it in last week's newsletter, that's the power of discovery, inspiration, right? Anyway, I need to be clear. Richard Beavers Gallery is doing more than just participating in a conversation. They're in many ways really refining it and shaping it. This gallery is actively challenging the traditional structures of the art market, making spaces for artists whose work has historically been overlooked or undervalued. They're ensuring that Black artists are not just represented, but are also collected, archived, and placed into institutions where their work will hold significance for generations. One of the things I appreciate most about this gallery is how intentional they have been about their roster. They represent one of my favorites to see, artist Teron Cooper Sorrells, whose work is filled with narrative-rich compositions and symbolic elements. They're so dynamic and colorful. They pull you into this world that feels both intimate but also expansive. If you follow Mr. Nice Art on Instagram, he talks a lot about Teron. Anyway, they also represent Desmond Beach, whose work is an emotional journey through Black spirituality, through history, and through our collective memory. His approach is creating these layers both physically and conceptually that's making his work feel like these living, breathing entities. They're also working with Phyllis Steffens, who is another powerhouse on their roster. She's a master of textile art. Her quilts are storytelling tools, placing together these generational narratives. Black Southern traditions and these cultural histories are showing up constantly in her work. These works, they hold weight, carrying forward conversations that would otherwise be lost in time. But beyond the artists themselves, Richard Beavers Gallery is a movement. They show at major fairs like Expo Chicago, Untitled Miami, and Scope Miami. And they're placing Black artists in serious collections and serious conversations. This is what impact looks like. They're making sure that these artists don't just have visibility for the moment, but are positioned for a long-term success in the market. So if you are in Brooklyn, this is a gallery that I need you to visit. I need you to check them out, study the artists they're working with, and stay engaged because Richard Beavers Gallery is doing work that shifts the landscape of the art world. Now I want to talk about Mitochondria Gallery because they deserve a serious spotlight. I had the pleasure of working with them several times, and most significantly in Tender Peaks Grace Unfolds, which was a group exhibition. And I want to tell you guys, this is a gallery that's doing really important work in expanding visibility of contemporary African artists. But beyond that, they are making serious strides in creating sustainable opportunities for artists from the African continent and the diaspora. They're making sure that these artists have platforms, not just to be seen, but to be collected. And that's really important. Y'all gotta imagine these spaces, these galleries are doing the work on behalf of these artists to shift their lives, to shift their careers. I remember talking to one of my industry girlies, and we were at an exhibition opening. We were drinking our little wine, probably something real cheap, and we couldn't help but be thankful and for being able to operate in this space and still have life. Still be able to take care of our families and ourselves and our necessities. We talked about how everyone who is a part of this ecosystem is responsible. we're responsible for doing our best. So we have to make sure we do our work at 200%, do the best we can, keep good people with some integrity around us, and keep working. That's what these galleries are doing. Mitochondria Gallery is based in Houston, Texas, and I've lived here for 13 years, and it's been a steadily growing market and a steadily growing major art hub. And guys, if you don't know, Untitled is coming here in September. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see this space, Houston, expanding. It's exciting to see a gallery like Mitochondria doing what they're doing with contemporary African art, what it means within the U.S. market. And they're not just focused on their local presence, of course. They've been showing at major fairs like Scope Miami, introducing collectors to artists who are making a lot of waves on a global scale. First, we have Isaiah Antoine, whose work is layered with so much texture and emotion and reflecting themes of memory and spirituality. Azur's pieces are visually striking. When I look at Isaiah's work, it makes me feel like I'm looking at a recovered artifact from the past. It's really, really beautiful work. And then there's Sese Ilangwe, who is my guy. I love Sese, but his work is all about storytelling through portraiture. His figurative paintings, they're blending these traditional African motifs with contemporary visual language, capturing these subjects in a way that feels both timeless and modern. The way he's using color is insane. His figures are often surrounded by vibrant hues that reflect both their internal emotions and the external surroundings. He's emphasizing the eye, and this serves as a key visual identifier of his work. This is what makes Mitochondria Gallery so special and so important. They're not just showing these artists, they're actively playing a role in shaping the market for contemporary African art. And if you say otherwise, you're wrong, okay? They're making sure that these works are not just seen, but acquired by serious collectors, and that's how you create lasting impact in the art world. So if you're in Houston, you need to visit this space. And if you're not, follow them online, keep up with their artists, and start engaging, because Mitochondria Gallery is doing something really, really special. All right, so before we keep going, I really need y'all to listen. If you're thinking about planning your exhibition, and this is your 100th time seeing me mention the exhibition planning workbook, and you've had that little feeling and that little thought of, oh, I'm gonna get it next time, go ahead and get it. Get it now. Stop procrastinating planning your exhibition. I'm sharing this with you because it's working, not only for me, but for others. The outpouring of emails that I'm getting from others, that it is actively helping them in real time, man, that's such a blessing, because that's why we do this. I created that exhibition planning workbook to keep everything organized, from planning timelines to budgeting for the exhibition to promotion and to marketing and how to handle the opening reception of an exhibition, all the way to how to handle transactions and delivering the artwork. It makes the entire process so much easier. And I thought, I actually have to share this. If you're thinking about hosting your own show, this will be really helpful for you too. You could check it out at the link in the description and see if it's a really good fit for you. Just check it out. And in celebration of Black History Month, because we still celebrate, I'm giving 20% off with BMH20. Now I want to talk about Cierra Britton Gallery. Cierra Britton is my girl, okay? Dedicated to representing BIPOC women artists, the gallery has been recognized for its commitments to shaping the next generation of art spaces. And Cierra and her gallery was recently featured in Forbes 30 Under 30, and its groundbreaking work in the art world. Cierra Britton founded her gallery with a very clear vision. And that was to create a space exclusively dedicated to uplifting and supporting BIPOC women artists, recognizing their barriers these artists face in the traditional gallery system. Britton has positioned herself, her gallery, as a platform for visibility, support, and institutional and collector recognition. The gallery is known for prioritizing equity, representation, and long-term career sustainability for the artists that it's working with. Exhibitions, this gallery has been making major moves in the contemporary art scene, participating in key art fairs and presenting impactful exhibitions. Now, here are some highlights. Cierra Britton Gallery attended NADA Miami. The gallery's booth featured Brie Andy's series From the Outside In, which completely sold out. This was a significant moment, as this is one of the most competitive fairs for emerging galleries. And a sold out booth? You know, that signals such a strong collector demand, and that's not easy. So we're going to give her all of the credit. We're going to give her all of the love, because doing something like that as a young gallery, that's not easy. That's not easy. That's amazing. By the way, if you're a part of the Glory Collective on Patreon, before this fair, I put Briandy amongst a list of artists that I was closely watching and that I wanted you guys to double down on watching. So yeah, Cierra predicted it. Briandy knew she was good, but I predicted it too. So if you want more information like that, make sure you join that Patreon, my Glory Collective, where I just call out emerging artists that I think are gonna do amazing in the art world in their career. Now, Cierra Britton Gallery has hosted shows that center themselves of identity, personal ritual, cultural narratives, and contemporary storytelling through various mediums. The gallery works with an impressive roster of emerging artists, including Briandy, who I just mentioned, known for her introspective oil paintings that explore personal ritual and intimacy. We got Jewel Ham, who is a multidisciplinary artist whose work critiques cultural consumption and representation. And then we have Luanale Havet, and I really hope I said her name correctly. She's incorporating mythology and contemporary identity into visually rich compositions and using this very bold, rich color palette that almost look like heat maps. And she's placing this into this visually rich composition. Now, as I mentioned before, Cierra Britton Gallery, and Cierra Britton alone was in Forbes 30 under 30. She was named as a leading gallery shaping the next generation of art spaces. Artsy's Galleries Under 30 Shaping the Future highlighted her for her innovative approach to gallery programming and artist representation. In art, she's been mentioned in ArtNet, Hyperallergic, Culture Magazine, the list goes on, okay? Recognizing her efforts to shift the traditional market, she's been recognized for her efforts to shift the traditional gallery model and advocate for systematic change in the industry. Now, Cierra Britton is disrupting the traditional art market by ensuring that underrepresented artists are placed into serious collections and engaged in conversations that were previously gatekept. She's setting a precedent for how contemporary galleries should be operating when it comes to inclusivity, intentionality, and artist-first business models. This is a gallery to watch. If you're not already following her, now is the time. Her ability to create real impact and collector demand for her artists is what makes her gallery one of the most exciting spaces to continue watching. Now, before you go, I want you to make sure you're subscribed to the Glory Digest, which is my weekly newsletter where I dive deep into what's happening in the art world. In every issue, I share a Dear Artist, Dear Collector section with insights and advice for navigating the art world. I recommend exhibitions that I think you guys should really check out. And I also recommend artists that I'm really loving that particular week. I'll talk to you guys about my current take on the art market sentiment and where we are currently in that week. I also give an affordable artwork under $5,000 because it's really important. And I don't call it an affordable artwork. I call it an approachable artwork because it's approachable for all collectors. Sometimes I'll place something in there as approachable as $300. And before I forget, I want you guys to check out the Glory Collective. I created it really for us, and it's really special. And we need a community, and I want to get closer to you guys, and that's why I created it. We need a space where artists and collectors can access everything that they need without gatekeeping, and that's what the Glory Collective is. So I'm talking about real practical guides, advice, how to write an artist statement, how collectors can define their mission, how we're chatting about what artists we're loving right now. This is a place for conversation. This is a place for debates. This is a place for understanding what's happening in the art world. This is a place for deeper market insights. This is a place for emerging and mid-career artists to know exactly. This is a place to get some direction, right? To get some direction and get some other ideas, get some deeper ideas on where to go in your art career or where to go on your collector's journey. Just recently, I started doing some behind the scenes videos of where I am showing you guys my research. So you're getting to watch me research for an hour or an hour and a half and understand my thought process into why I'm researching particular artists, why I'm including particular artists in these videos, and why I'm sending particular artists to my clients. And if you're in the premium membership, you get a 45-minute consultation with me every single month. We've got 25 members right now, and when we hit 50, we'll start monthly live discussions where you can ask your questions in real time. In these live discussions, they will be guided, so we will have a theme around it. But when we hit 100 members, we'll do it every single week. We'll have a live conversation every single week where you guys can chime in to the conversation and ask questions or give suggestions or whatever. I'm also really thinking about starting a fantasy art collection. to where I build a fantasy collection every single year. And I'm thinking about giving myself a $400,000 budget, a fantasy budget, and building a collection and taking you guys along the journey of me building this collection in real time, and really incorporating how much we think it would cost to ship the work to me if it's coming from somewhere else, what it would take to add it to my insurance, and doing all these things hypothetically, but doing them, right? So you guys can see like what it actually takes to create a collection and how much it might cost outside of buying the artwork, and the process that you need to take to maintain organization around your collection. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because these galleries, they're shaping the future. So if you're an artist, a collector, or just someone who loves to see where the art world is going, get familiar, follow them, support them, and let me know in the comments which of these galleries are you checking out first. Okay, so I'll see y'all in the next one. And remember, it doesn't matter what group you belong to. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, if you're a collector, or just here for the love of art. This channel is your home. And I want to thank you for watching, dear Glory. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next time for some art world insights, conversations, and discovery. See y'all soon. Peace.